Sparkhouse in the Summer product overview webinar. A number of you have been sharing what your setting looks like, and that's great. Thank you. I hope we have something that will fill many settings. I do this summer webinar every year around this time. This year I'm doing something different. I'm focusing on all the new stuff first, and then for those of you who might not be familiar with some of our perennial offerings, we'll go into those later. If some of you have said, okay, I know all of that, then you'll know that you've got the new items at the beginning of the webinar. So I'm going to give that a go and see how that works for everyone. So Sparkhouse in the Summer, what's new for 2023? Already mentioned by Beth, a Vacation Bible School that we are pleased to be partnering with our fellow imprint, Augsburg Fortress, and bringing forth something called Operation Restoration. I don't know if you're aware of the story world of Pastor Daniel Erlander, pastor and artist. This man has been renowned for being able to share the gospel story in significant and creative ways, winsome and wise. And we are pleased to be able to share this story world of Daniel Erlander through something called Operation Restoration. You might be familiar with things like Manna and Mercy, or some of his resources to prepare for Holy Communion or for baptism. But Operation Restoration is brand new. It's not just brand new. We like to refer to it as a new kind of VBS for 2023. And yeah, that's sweet, or tweet, or whatever. Sweet. And just this gives you kind of the whimsy of a Daniel Erlander resource. Operation Restoration offers many significant things. Captivating language and illustrations by Pastor Dan that portray the heart of the Christian gospel. There's an overarching restoration theme that inspires everyone to be menders of God's world, something we really need to hear. Daily themes that kids understand, and I'll be getting to that in just a bit. And I would say daily themes that matter too. And there's multi-sensory activity centers, as you would normally find in a Vacation Bible School, like art, music, science and nature, service learning, and storytelling. It's always a time for a little bit of fun in a Vacation Bible School, right? And what's great about Operation Restoration is the content is really flexible. You can use it in many different contexts, for which many people would say, hooray, over something like that. So here's what Operation Restoration looks like. And you talk about basic themes of Christianity: feed, heal, forgive, pray, and rest. We're just really wanting to touch on Bible stories that get to the heart of our place in God's creation and God's love for us as creator of this world and as sustainer of us all, even the littlest of us. A starter kit for Operation Restoration is $140. Notice you get 10 interactive guides. These are the books that the kids will use throughout the week of this Vacation Bible School. So the $140 can really get a small VBS going without any additional resources. It's all there. I mean, that's the simplicity that's intended when we created Operation Restoration in the spirit of Pastor Erlander. And so pretty simple. All the guides are in the kit: director guide, art guide, music guide, service learning guide, science and nature guide, and storytelling guide. Operation Restoration does have a homepage where you'll get more information. If you want to flash that with a smartphone now, you can. It's a pretty easy place to go to. Just search on Operation Restoration on either the Sparkhouse page or the Augsburg Fortress page, and you'll find a dedicated page just for Operation Restoration. There'll be a scope and sequence chart there. There'll be some free digital downloads there. And I do want to mention a couple of other things, because we've already started our development team and our marketing team to present Operation Restoration in a great way, because we already have a YouTube presence if you go to the We Are Sparkhouse YouTube channel, you can see a number of introductory videos regarding Operation Restoration. Some of these slides will look familiar because I use them in creating those videos. But you also want to check out our Facebook page, and this is the Augsburg Fortress Facebook page, where our developer, Dr. Dawn Rudman, and marketer Jess Christensen has given us an opportunity by way of Facebook Live events to prep for our Operation Restoration experience. And so you might want to look for those Facebook Live videos on the Augsburg Fortress Facebook page. All right, moving on. What else is new? I don't know if you've ever used the Family Celebrate cards. We've done them for a number of years for Advent to help families at home prepare for Advent. But we decided to try a set for summer, Family Celebrate Summer. And I'd really be curious to know in the questions pod if anyone of you who are attending the webinar now have used the Family Celebrate cards and how you've used them, because they're a really creative and unique resource. 56 cards. Here's some samples. If you look at some of the cards, notice the cards have different colors, which we'll be getting to in a second. But on different days, you can celebrate different saints' days or other kinds of events. There's activities like disciple hopscotch and how to make and use walking sticks and creating chalk walks and all kinds of fun activities. Draw a card for the day, and maybe there's something fun that you could do, or maybe take them on a trip. So these Family Celebrate cards are designed to be used in a number of creative settings. When I spoke of the colors of the cards, red is for specific dated days, orange for at-home fun, yellow for ideas for travel, green rituals to try, and blue are cards for acts of service. And you'll see some of the red day cards that are below. World Bicycle Day, Juneteenth, Birth of St. John, etc. So, little glimpse into a deck of families celebrate cards. And I do want to mention that the Family Celebrate cards, while they're $9.99 a deck, if you are getting them from your church, there is an opportunity to look inside of them, download a free promo pack on how to promote them. And don't forget, quantity discounts can reduce the prices of these cards significantly if you're giving them out to your congregation. 6 cards, faith-based activities, rituals and reflections and ideas to try. Ages 3 through 12, cards can be used all summer long, and as I mentioned, $9.99 a pack. All right. Oh, Beth says we used them last year. The families liked them. We sent them home in a bag with some items, piece of chalk, bubbles, etc. Really cool. And then try to touch base with the families via Facebook. Thank you for sharing that, Beth. So what else is new? Well, I should say this is new, but it's continuously new. These digital activity kits, including the one that recently was uploaded to Sparkhouse Digital. If you're not a Sparkhouse Digital subscriber, you can get the Series 1 kits for Lent and summer and fall and the holidays, Christmas holidays. But as far as the Series 2 kits and the Series 3 kits, we've done this for 3 years. We started this during COVID, and we just kept going because people really enjoyed having these activities that can be used in a hybrid setting or at home. You can use them in the church settings too, but we really have gotten to be pretty creative in putting these digital activity kits together that can be used in a variety of settings. Again, you can get a digital download for the first series, but if you want the ongoing digital activity kits, that would be available to you by way of a Sparkhouse Digital subscription. I'll talk about Sparkhouse Digital here in a little bit. So it includes appropriate activities, games, art projects, Bible reading guides, designed to be printed, assembled to give the children, youth, and families, much the same way Beth just did with the Family Celebrate cards. Each includes a Get Started guide that gives you a theme overview for all the activity kits, overview of activities, instructions. Yeah, not just instructions, but there's a good resource list in that Get Started guide as well. Digital activity kits are perfect ways to engage children, youth, and families. And I do want to say that if you are a subscriber to any of the modules of Sparkhouse Digital, like the early childhood module of Sparkhouse Digital, there are activities just for those littles. And there's activities specifically for the children if you subscribe to the children's module. And there are digital activity kit activities that are unique to the youth if you subscribe to the youth module of Sparkhouse Digital. But those, we're uploading those on a quarterly basis, new content all the time on our online platform. And so here's an example of the Get Started guide with what's included, kit preparation supplies, and then you'll be getting them in blackline masters that you can print out of the digital activity kits, and various kinds of resources like making these blessing boxes out of mint tins, which was kind of fun, kind of a tiny house project. Well, it's a tiny blessing project, I guess we could call it. What's included for the summer of 2023? So what's new in these digital activity kits? There's story jars that explore how water works while connecting the stories from the Bible. And that's the theme, really, for this year's digital activity kit is water, as you'll see. Pennant Prayers celebrates fun and challenging activities kids may encounter this summer. How big is your bubble? Activities to enjoy while kids are playing, making, playing, and popping bubbles. A painting activity. Again, here we're bubbles and water. We're starting to get our theme going here. There's a tent city activity. It doesn't mention anything about water in this one, but I've been in tents in the rain, so maybe maybe that would be a thing. I don't know. But interactivity where kids and families can build tents while they learn how they're the cornerstone of life for many people in the Bible and around the world today. God's Holy Darkness. That's a book out of our Beaming book catalog. I was just at an event and I sold out of those God's Holy Darkness books. They've been very popular for talking about the way that God blesses us through dark colors and not just light colors. And so we have a mini lesson that guides kids as they think about color and its meaning. Noah's Ark is a printable board game for 1 to 7 players, created by a fellow who's been really great at designing games for us. We're really excited about having him involved with this. Red Sea slushies, again, icy treats and whatnot. Water everywhere. Where's the water? It's a game that connects the water around us with stories in the Bible. So this is what's in the children's module. There's some slightly different activities in the early childhood module, Sparkhouse Digital, and again in the youth module of Sparkhouse Digital. More than we can really talk about in the time that we have together. So Series 1 kit can be downloaded for $49.99. But if you have Sparkhouse Digital, Series 2 and 3 are already in there. It's included in your subscription, along with a number of the other resources that I'll be talking about over the course of this webinar. I don't know how familiar all of you are with Sparkhouse Digital, but I did want to pop in there just for a second to show you where the digital activity kits live in Sparkhouse Digital. Some people have heard of these kits, but don't know how to find them. So I'm going to show you that right now. So hopefully you've seen my screen change. This is Sparkhouse Digital. Again, there's an early childhood module, Sparkhouse Digital, a children's module, and a youth module. Each of them have a unique set of resources. We want to point out that if you're interested in using digital activity kits over the summer, look in the bonus content. So if you explore the bonus content of Sparkhouse Digital and you go into the digital activity kits, you'll see Series 1, Series 2, Series 3 activity kits. This is the one that just was uploaded, Summer Series 3. Clicking arrows always gets you deeper. So there's the Get Started guide, as I talked about, and all the various activities which you can preview in Sparkhouse Digital. All right, 4 pages of this that we could preview, the Get Started guide. Or we can download this immediately out of Sparkhouse Digital. Or if you're a Sparkhouse Digital director, you can start doing some fun things like say, okay, well, we want to do this tent city thing. We want to make it a family camp out. We're going to add tent city to the calendar. And let's see, when do we want to add it? Select a date. Well, not in April. Let's move into the summer months. Let's say we want to do Tent City maybe at the conclusion of our Operation Restoration Vacation Bible School. So we're going to have a camp out on a Friday night, Friday, August 4th, and then add this to my Sparkhouse digital calendar. And this is one of the ways that you can do some planning in Sparkhouse Digital. If I go to calendar now and I go to August, I'll see my Tent City there and all of my various leaders that I want to add to this, and find these resources 24/7 and use these resources. There's unlimited number of leaders that you can add to Sparkhouse Digital, and in turn add them to various activities in the Sparkhouse Digital calendar. And so it's a very useful platform, and one that we have found very easy to add new content to for our subscribers. Okay, we have Sparkhouse Digital. We really like it. Thank you, Mary. Still learning what's available. If we go to your account area and go under leaders, Nicole, you can add as many new leaders as you want. And there's no reason why you can't add parents as leaders, because you could give parents devotionals content to use during the week that they could access. So I don't think there's any harm in adding people to Sparkhouse Digital. You could actually gain some faith formation volunteers as a result of that. But you can add as many as you want. All right, well, I'm going to bug out of Sparkhouse Digital for a little bit. That's just a little taste of Sparkhouse Digital for anybody who might be interested in that, and getting the resources that are related to Sparkhouse Digital, in particular our digital activity kits. But there's not just the digital activity kits in Sparkhouse Digital. There's all the Renew VBS resources, and then there's our intergenerational resources, a Journey Together, Good Stewards Together. I call them our Together resources. Those have all also been uploaded to Sparkhouse Digital, in addition to our key resources of our core curricula like Spark and Whirl and Holy Moly and all that. I've touched on some of the new things that are available, but I'm about to go into what I call our perennial favorites, things that you might already be aware of. That'll be a refresher for you all, I guess. But if you're not, stick with me here, because I do want to talk about those intergenerational options, Journey Together and Good Stewards Together. As churches are regathering, as people are seeing folks that they haven't seen for a long time, I got to tell you, a number of my associates have said they have never seen an Easter service bigger than the one that they had last Easter. It just seemed like people are coming out of the woodwork, and I don't know if that's true in your congregation or not, but maybe a good way to reconnect is through one of these intergenerational activities, Journey Together, Good Stewards Together. They're both meant to be summer activities, but I know congregations that have chosen to use Good Stewards Together as the heart of their fall stewardship programs. So you might want to think about that as well. Each one of these resources has 12 intergenerational summer events that can bring your whole congregation together. It's designed for participants of all ages. And so the activities really keep in mind both the youngest and the oldest of your congregation. It can be an alternative to Vacation Bible School, or perhaps several weeks of a traditional Vacation Bible School, or maybe just a once a week special program of some kind. There are 10 separate events, true, but there's also a getting started and event to close. So there's 12 total, but you can use it in any order that you want. Yeah, here's the kickoff and send-off events that I was talking about a little bit ago. And there's free suggestions for both in-person and virtual use. So Journey Together has a summer kickoff. It covers Bible, the Holy Spirit, what it means to be a disciple, what it means to be the church, how we live in the world that God has given us, and then a summer send-off. And then Good Stewards Together has a kickoff, then Stories of Stewardship, a biblical good stewards, Holy Spirit of stewardship, stewards of grace, stewards of the love of God, food to share, stewards of the body of Christ, faith, fellowship, and fun, God's world, our world, good stewards celebrate, and then a send-off. And every one of the Together series events has a gather together art activity, and then an activity that allows you to explore the theme of the day, and then activities that encourage the participants to go deeper into the theme. And then they're sent out with a ritual or a blessing or an activity of some kind. Sourcebook is full of ideas, like snack ideas, outdoor projects, service projects, extra games, creative arts. So the leader sourcebook that goes with each of these can really help you to craft an experience that really works for your congregation. Journey Together is something that you can purchase, as I've said, or preview on the website. There's interior pages and suggestions for use, but $39.99 for one set of 12. And if you have Sparkhouse Digital, they're included. You've already got them. So another camp that has come into the Sparkhouse family is this creative arts camp. It's an alternative vacation Bible school. It is available as a print situation or a download situation. It's visual arts, it's music arts, it's dramatic arts. It encompasses all those things. And one of the really interesting suggestions regarding creative arts camp is that you tap into the artists in your church or in your community to be involved with things. Whether they're maybe some high school musicians or maybe even some professional musicians in the area would like to get involved in doing this. So what's in Creative Arts Camp? It's a camp that connects Bible stories to a creative expression through art, music, movement, drama. There's, as I said, a creative art alternative to Vacation Bible School. There's 4 themes that we'll look at in a second that will allow for 5-day, 6-hour camps. So it's a full day of camp, or you could an optional 3-hour camp that allows for a half-day VBS. So this is the table of contents of the Creative Arts Camp sourcebook: how to design your camp, getting started, planning timeline, all that. And then in part 2, you get into these 4 VBS programs: Praise, Creation Care, Who's My Neighbor, Saints, and Holy Helpers, that you could be using. When I looked at it, was the Creation Care Camp and dug into the visual arts materials. This is one of the things that you do in one of the stations of Creation Art Camps, the visual art station. You're making a drum. You're assembling this drum on day 1. You're painting the drum in day 2. The whole drum project actually is going along with the other themes of the day, because what's so fun about Creative Arts Camp is that at the end of the week is you get kind of a celebration event where the kids get to display what they've created or have practiced, and so it's a real fun activity that's very engaging. Could be half day, could be a full day, 4 weeks worth with those different themes. So $29.95 in print, or as a digital download. I have to say, though, for those of you who are subscribers to Sparkhouse Digital, because of our arrangements with the congregation in Denver that put this together, it's not included in Sparkhouse Digital. So you have to get that either by way of a digital download or in the print version from wearesparkhouse.org. Check it out. A lot of great content and guidance for $29.95. One more, Renew VBS. I'm circling back to VBS here. We started with Operation Restoration, and now we're back around to Renew VBS. Our first attempt to create a VBS that was completely sustainable, helping congregations to become more green. We have an opportunity to, through the parable of the sower and the seed, helping kids hear a call to the ministry of creation care, similar to VBS, but different. It is intended to be a 5-day program, preschool to upper elementary. There's an all kids option too, if you want to do a 1-room schoolhouse kind of a version of Renew VBS, very much action oriented. And here's the set of themes. Day 1, planting seeds, taking root, growing, facing challenges, living together, and see how the sower and the seed parable plays out over the course of this VBS. And God's love is a seed in me. God's love takes root in me. God's love is growing in me. The love of Jesus helps me face challenges. We live together in God's love, are kind of the takeaway taglines for each of the days of this VBS. And here's, you gather, you go into one of the activity sites, Self, World, Community. The preschool is on its own. And then you gather together after the kids have gone to the various stations for sending time. And the snacks and games and all that, of course, are provided to do this resource. And you can find music and video that are all supporting this Renew, the Green VBS, Renew Music, Renew Program video. You ever recall Sasha Andrew of HGTV's Decorating Sense and Curb Appeal? She helped us put the Renew Program video together, which was kind of cool. $79.99 digital download, or if you have Sparkhouse Digital, you can get it that way. So in other words, it's not in print. It's only available as digital download. I do want to say that if you use our core curricula like Whirl or Spark, there are summer versions of this core curricula that are available. I know that a lot of people have also used Spark Rotation as the heart of a VBS, because there's a version of Spark called Spark Rotation too, that gives you the whole VBS stations, revolving around the stations kind of a vibe. I did want to show, based on a question that was asked earlier, where do you find more information about Sparkhouse Digital and how Sparkhouse Digital works? The place that you always need to look at is this webinar page. So I'm on the wearesparkhouse.org site, and if I go to webinars, I can scroll down and I can see Sparkhouse Digital, what's new for Lent and Easter, basic training for Sparkhouse Digital leaders. And then if you really want to get into Sparkhouse Digital, I've created the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 set of webinars, Sparkhouse Digital Director Training. Those are ways that you can really introduce yourself, perhaps as a director or your leaders, into the use of Sparkhouse Digital. I do want to point out one other page, the We Are Sparkhouse YouTube channel. I don't know if you've ever been to the We Are Sparkhouse YouTube channel, but this is where you can find some of those snapshots as far as Operation Restoration is concerned. But there's a lot about each of our curricula. We call them Sparkhouse curricula snapshots. If you're interested in Holy Moly, they're like trailers, if you will, to our curricula are there. Here's Sparkhouse Digital tutorials. So there's even more video that supports your use of Sparkhouse Digital on the website. And then there's various animations regarding Holy Moly, Whirl, Reform, even Animate, and more. So it's always an interesting place to go for resources. I want to say God's blessings on your summer, and I hope that we can continue to serve you and provide resources that work in your local setting, and keep coming to webinars like this, live webinars, because it's a great way for you to provide feedback to us as well. So appreciate your attendance very much. So okay, I'm done. Take care. Bye-bye.